everybody. Hold on. Okay. I had some confusion going on. Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Let's jump into Ready to Love. Today, I'm getting into some quick reviews. um, Ready to Love last night was, I guess, the finale. We got to see the ladies meet the gentleman's family, and we got to see the final picks of the season. It was a very boring episode. The first 45 minutes could have been an email, but I I just want to come in and give my 2 cents real quick on it because I'm more excited to see the reunion. I'm going to get on Instagram and Google and try to get the reunion looks together, see if people have uploaded some of their reunion looks. So maybe before reunion, I don't know how many parts it's going to be. No more than 2, please, Tommy. But I want to do a video to discuss the looks first, but if not, I might have to wait till the reunion comes out and grab the looks off my TV and we'll discuss the looks there. But let's get into this last episode. The first scene we saw was Sydney meet with Phil to discuss picking up Shiloh and putting her in her car. It seemed like Sydney was cool with it. All she really said is, I don't even think she told him to keep his hands to himself. I don't know. She just said, what's that, Naeem? Like, I haven't seen that energy from you towards me, so I'm gonna let it go. You gotta pass. It was really a conversation that didn't need to be had because you didn't address. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't recall her addressing the issue at hand, which is if a woman tells you don't touch me, don't touch me. And she kind of feels like he won't do it to her, but I personally feel like, even though, I agree with you all in the comments from last week, Shiloh was putting 20 on 10. Shiloh was just mad that Phil wasn't going to pick her. I agree with all of that. But at the end of the day, if I say don't touch me, don't touch me. And I feel like that's the indicator that Sydney, he will do the same to you. But let's move on. I just didn't feel like anything came of that conversation between Sydney and Phil. I didn't write notes, so I don't know who visited whose family in what order. So let's just jump into it. I remember Sydney went to go see Phil's family. They had a decent conversation. I really like, if we have to pick, I'd rather Sydney pick Phil over Frank anyway. But she was honest and was like, I haven't decided. There's still another gentleman. And I feel like everybody else, by this point in the process, you should know who you want. We shouldn't be walking up to the Ferris wheel deciding who we want. But we're going to play along with the scenario of the show. Then she went to go meet Frank's family. I don't recall what happened with Frank's family. Was Frank the one who looked like he had little children? I was on Twitter and somebody comments and people were arguing because they was like, why did Frank have a 12-year-old up here meeting his potential dates? And Frank got in the comments, was like, my cousin is 23 and why should you care? Da, da, da. And I'm like, well, damn, she did look like a teenager. I just got put that little bit of shade in there because I was like, I did think that was a teenager. But apparently the woman was 23 years old. I don't care how old she was. She's sitting up here talking about Frank is the perfect date. And it looked like Frank got the most drama at the reunion. We shall see. But I don't care nothing about what Frank and his family was talking about. Who else met up? Walter took Sabrina to meet his family. Very surface level. Very surface. Like, can we skip past a lot of these family visits? The only family visit that introduced any talking points to me was Aisha and Dante, where Dante says something like he got to learn how to be the head of the household and pay all the bills. And I'm like, aren't you paying all your bills now? Like, when they had that conversation, Dante was like, can we go 50-50? It was like 50-50. And not Sabrina. Aisha was like, she don't do 50-50. She looking for a man to be the man and she'll be the woman. She'll keep the house. She'll make sure the kids are taken care of. She might pay a bill or two. At least Aisha was being honest. I don't mind doing 50-50. It's all to each their own. That might have been the structure of her marriage. But girl, aren't you paying all your own bills now? Like, you have a successful hair salon. Aren't you paying all your own bills now? To me, I'm just going to give my opinion from my life situation. I was a single mother for 10 years. I got married when my son was 10 years old. I was paying all my own bills up until the time I got married. And I was living in Atlanta. I live in Memphis now. But in Atlanta, I was paying $1,200 a month for an apartment by myself. To me, it ain't nothing now where I have a mortgage. I ain't gonna say how much my mortgage is, but mortgages are cheaper than apartments. I don't mind going half on a mortgage, which is way less than $1,200 a month, than paying the shit all by myself. So I don't understand why women, and mind you, this is just Kiss My Cheeks TV, Angie's opinion, and my life experience. I don't understand why women who are paying their own mortgages, all of their own bills, all of their own groceries and shopping and everything else, when you're doing 100% for yourself, why do when you get with a man and he suggests let's go 50-50, do you up for airs and you expect a man to pay 100% when you were just paying 100% over there on the couch by yourself? That's just my opinion. I'm gonna move on from it because, like I said, it's to each their own. Everyone is set up different. Mind you, if my husband would have said I got everything, because mind you, when I first moved to Memphis and it was his house I moved into, I did tell him that's your house. You pay your house note because that my name wasn't on that. So he did do that. But when we got our own house together and both of our names were on the note, we go half and half. I don't know. Like I said, it's to each their own. To each their own. Hey Vita, how you doing? I agree with Aisha. I want to move in my God-given femininity, though. I've been working since I was a teenager. I agree. Like I said, if my husband would have said he got it all himself and he would pay it all himself, I ain't gonna argue with you. I ain't gonna beg to pay. But me and my husband are set up in a structure where we make equally the same amount of money, so it doesn't matter who pays what. Like I said, a lot of people have their own ways. I don't know the word to say it. To each their own, I guess is what I'm saying. If if somebody want to pay all my bills, I'll let them. But I'd rather pay half than 100. So I don't know. You said I did 50-50 with my ex. If my future husband says I got this, I'm gonna let him have it. I may work part-time. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. I've been working since a teenager too, Evita. And one thing about me, my parents would say, I like to work. I've always liked to have my own money. And even if I had somebody, like I said, when I first got married, I didn't have to pay any of the house note because that was my husband's house and that was that. But I didn't want to not work. I never, ever, ever, and it's just Angie, wanted to sit in the house and clean house all day and take care of kids all day. That would be torturous to me. That would be torturous to me to have to sit and cook and clean. Mm-mm. I like to go to work. I like to have my own money. I like being out the house. Mind you, I'm a manager, so I like being in charge. I ain't into sitting in the house, but that ain't got nothing to do with anything. I appreciate Aisha for her honesty, but like I said, girl, you sitting over in the house over there paying all the bills. I don't see any problem going have. That's the Midwest Illinois women mentality. That probably is. It probably is. Probably because I grew up with a grandmother who didn't put up with no bullshit. And so when she left my grandfather, she was a single mother and took care of her own household. My mom and dad, I grew up in a household that was very 50-50. They're both college educated, both have good jobs, and they both did what they had to do to set us up to have a lifestyle to where we could have the lifestyle that we all had. So I guess I grew up in an equally sharing situation with strong women who worked and wanted to work. So I guess that's why I have that mentality. But let's move on from that, because I'm not mad at Aisha, and I don't want that to be twisted. Like, I ain't mad at Aisha for saying what she said. I appreciate how Aisha said it over old girl a few seasons ago who said she don't do mortgages. Like, I appreciate how Aisha put it on the table. So let's move on from that point of view. One thing before we get into the picking, because that's really where all my commentary is going to come. I think the issue with Ready to Love is that it seems like the contestants are looking for husbands. Naya, that's the girl named Evita, Naya. Aisha put it on the table way better than Naya put it on the table. But these people look like they're looking for marriages. And instead of looking just for companionship that can grow into a marriage. Like, when you meet somebody on a day-to-day basis, back when I was out there dating, the fastest way to get me to shoo away from you, to be like, is if when you first meet me, you talking that, oh, you could be my wife. I can see you marrying, us being married. Like, if you start talking about marriage and kids around that first or second day, I was turned off. That could just be me. I could be built different. I don't know. I feel like if these people talked more about each other, the things they had in common, I never hear them talk about the things they like to do. Like, I like concerts, I like jazz, I like movies. Like, all we hear these people talk about is, yes, I want to get married, I want kids, I don't want kids. And I feel like it's too soon to talk about that. And that's why all of these relationships seem fake and doomed. And I just wish people would come into this show like, I want to date. You come onto this show looking for a date, maybe a boyfriend, girlfriend, but y'all talking like y'all looking for a husband or a wife. But that's just my 2 cents. Let's move into the choices. The best choice was Sabrina, but they done left that cliffhanger to the end, so I'm gonna leave it a cliffhanger too. I guess after that, we saw Sydney standing at a Ferris wheel. I told y'all they find a Ferris wheel in every city they be in. They always can find some Ferris wheel and a lake for these people to meet up. But Sydney was standing somewhere with a Ferris wheel in the background. And it looked like Frank and what's his name, Phil, was both walking towards Sydney. And finally we saw it was Phil. And they chose each other. Now, let's do a little foreshadowing. Do we think they're still together? Because mind you, I don't follow any of these people on Instagram. I did see from some other people posting that Camille and Cornelius are still together. And I would say I pray for you, Cornelius, but you can pray for yourself. You chose her. I don't know if Sydney and Phil are still together. I like Sydney picking Phil over Frank because Frank looked like pure bullshit to me. I guess I wish everybody would have been like Sabrina. I really wish it would have been a whole finale of Sabrina's, but a lot of people were reading Sydney on Twitter for her dress. I said, girl, if you got the body, wear it. Shit, if I could wear that little green dress with my sides being exposed, I would expose them too. I like Sydney's dress. I like her style, but I mean, I guess if you had to pick somebody, I wish Sydney would have picked herself. I would bet they aren't together. The only ones I hope are together, Aisha and Dante. I agree. Let's go to Aisha and Dante. Aisha looked very beautiful in that blue dress. A lot of people were saying it was Fashion Nova. I don't care where it came from. It was cute. Aisha has the type of body that looks like she could wear anything. Like, she has a perfect shape to me. And so I liked Aisha in the blue dress. I think people on Twitter just be hating. They do a lot of hating on Twitter. They chose each other. They seem like the most realistic. Like, I choose to continue this journey with you, which to me means in the past that means, some people say that meant they can they just dating and they can still date other people, and we get all the confusion at the reunion. I'm hoping that means they want to be exclusive. Like, even if you don't want to call it boyfriend, girlfriend, just say we are going to exclusively date each other until we want to be more serious. And I hope they, you like that dress too. I love that blue dress Aisha had on. And I agree with you. Aisha and Dante, I do hope they at least try at a relationship. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Dante did give me some red flags when he was talking about he got to figure out how to pay all the bills. Like, again, aren't you paying all the bills and all the child support right now? That's probably why Dante can't afford to take on Aisha and her kids, because he got 3 kids to take care of himself. So he probably can't afford to take care of you, 3 kids, and your 3 kids. Yeah, you gonna have to go 50-50 with Dante, Aisha. But let's move on. Next, we get to Frank and Moomin. And Frank and Moomin was a joke to me. A complete joke. I think Frank only chose Moomin because production told him Sydney gonna choose Phil. So either you and Moomin gonna go home with nobody, or y'all could choose each other. They didn't look happy. I mean, Moomin looked happy to be chose. I mean, Moomin gave me, I'm just happy to be chose. And then she about to get on the reunion and make even more fool of herself, because now you upset that this man did whatever he did to you, wasn't faithful out. I guess we'll figure that out next week. He gave that whole energy of, I'm just here to be on TV. And you and Frank didn't even start to play in our face into episode 7 or 8, over halfway through the process. So, Moomin looked a mess. A lot of people on Twitter loved her color blocking dress. I did not like the colors, the pink and the orange with the neon yellow shoes. I thought it looked a fool. And I did not like why everybody else got to stand on the sidewalk. Why did they make Moomin wear them stiletto heels in the sand? I'm like, Moomin, just production does not like you. Everybody else got to stand on the sidewalk, but they made you strut to Frank in the sand in some heels. But they chose each other. They used that line. Dante and them said, I want to continue this journey with you. I guess Frank just want to continue on to the reunion. Do these people get paid per episode? I don't understand why they chose each other. But Frank seemed serious, and Moomin seemed he, he. I'm assuming that was playing when they were choosing each other. Frank did not seem serious to me. Frank is a businessman. To me, Moomin does have body, but that was an ugly dress. Moomin does have body because she looked good in them swimsuits when they was at the retreat, but that was an ugly dress, and I don't like them shoestring neon yellow coming up her legs, and then it just wasn't the best look for me. But I ain't saying Moomin don't know how to turn a look. That just wasn't it. Frank is a businessman. Frank knows how to speak intelligently. He knows how to project what he wants to say. And he was giving Moomin, like, every time he would talk to me, he was saying how much, like, he wanted to go to church. He wanted to be this. I never seen Moomin and Frank, and get in the comments, tell me if I'm wrong. Everybody that Moomin came across that she was serious with, she let them know up front, I'm in the church and I'm not having any sex before marriage. And everybody looked at Moomin like, okay, girl, I don't know, kind of like sex. When it came to Frank, which seemed like that was her last option, I didn't see her have that conversation. And we know Frank loved him some sex. So I definitely didn't take Moomin seriously. And we see they getting ready to have the most drama at the reunion. So Frank was not serious. He was playing games. And I think Sydney saw through them games and was like, I'm gonna at least take a chance with Phil. I I don't know. I think production picked the couples, and Sabrina was just like, hell no. Anyway, they do get paid more if they make it to the end. That's why I feel Sabrina did what she did. It has to be something because I don't know. It seemed like everybody this season was just playing in our face. None of these people wanted each other. They were just playing in our space all season. But let's get to the best couple to me. If you all have been watching me do reviews all season, I have been praying for somebody to say, look, I choose myself. I ain't got time for this bullshit. I'm so happy when it came to Walter and Sabrina. One, Sabrina looked good. Sabrina has a quiet sex appeal. Like, she don't all women can do it where you don't have to show everything to be sexy. Like, I like Sydney's sex appeal. She's one of those, I got it, I'm gonna flaunt it. Sabrina has one of those, I got it, but I'm just gonna show you a little bit. And I just love Sabrina's fashion. I didn't follow you, girl, on I hardly follow any of these people. I looked at her Instagram because I wanted to look at her fashion. She is someone whose fashion I really enjoy. Moomin told Frank, he said he was hypersexual. I missed that episode. I think a lot of times I fast forward through Moomin and Frank because they are the fakest to me. But Walter chooses no. I just thought of something funny. Walter introduces Sabrina to whoever, his family, whatever. And Sabrina, giving a fun fact, I was born in Korea. He was like, oh, I thought you was born in Virginia. These people don't know each other. If somebody tells me they were born in Korea, that's an interesting fact. Especially, I would have remembered somebody telling me they were born in Korea. So that was just funny to me. But let's move on. Walter chooses Sabrina for whatever reason. Walter doesn't want Sabrina. He didn't want Sabrina from the episode that Sabrina told him, I don't want no more kids. I ain't having no more kids. I got one and that's it. He didn't want Sabrina since then, but he played with Sabrina because he wanted to stay on the show. Let's just call it what it is. So Sabrina takes that dramatic pause and was like, Walter, you don't call me. I don't feel connected to you. We really don't communicate, and I ain't really trying to be down with you. And then Walter admits, I ain't talked to you since I introduced you to my people. And I'm like, you proving her point. And Sabrina ultimately chooses herself. She does take them flowers home, which I ain't mad at you, girl. Those were some beautiful flowers. And she walks off, leaving Walter looking dumb-faced. And I'm like, yes, somebody chooses themselves over this dumbass show. Y'all done already made the money y'all was gonna make by making it to the final episode. Don't make a further fool of yourself by choosing somebody you want to be with and then arguing with them at the reunion. I appreciate Sabrina for that. And it just made my heart smile because I was just over the fake shit. I was over the foolishness. Sabrina has been hinting at this all season that Walter does not communicate with her, that none of the men communicate with her unless it's the female elimination week. So let everybody else play themselves for fools, Sabrina girl. I'm proud of you. And I hope people watch this and remember this and choose themselves next season. Let's see more self-love over I just want to be on TV love. I don't know. Did I hear that after the next season, they will be headed to Miami? I didn't hear that, but I did hear next season is going to be in DC. They're going to do another DC season. I would love for them to go to Miami. Miami seems very spicy. Very, I just love Miami. Miami is a great place to go. I would like to see it. DC is a miss for me. I liked it better when it was out there in Houston. Where did it start? In Atlanta? It's hard to date in Atlanta. They need to go. They need to go back. I would love to see them go to a city that hasn't been explored yet. Like maybe try some people in Seattle or come here to Memphis. I know a lot of people. I ain't gonna put my friends out there, but I got a couple of friends that's ready to love, and they could use some mingling out here in Memphis. So, try some cities that people never have hardly went to. But I'm down for Miami too. I like this show. I enjoy it. Every season they play in our face. I just feel like this one, they did it the most. Like, I really wasn't rooting for anybody this season. In most seasons, I do have at least a couple or two that I really, really like and hope, they make it. But it is what it is. The reunion is where it's at. They turning up at the reunion. Tasia said this shit is ghetto and she walks off the stage. I want to know what's ghetto. I'm sure she's talking about Camille. Cornelius and Camille both said Camille didn't say she was going to fuck people up if they vote her man off. And I just need them to roll the clip. Because everybody on that cast who was at the retreat heard it. We all heard it at home. So we're not about to let Camille go through it. Who said that? Who said that? We're not about to let her do that. Bitch, you said it. Roll the clip. And who's this new person hosting the reunion? I think this new host is not gonna have it under control, but I'm gonna give her a chance. Yes, they were in Atlanta. I thought so. Yes, come to Memphis or yeah, go to Chicago. Again, I ain't gonna call no names, but I got a couple of friends in Chicago that's, ready to love. They in the age range of the ready to love contestants. I agree, Memphis or Chicago would be great. And Chicago is a huge city with a lot of things to do. Memphis, not so much. Memphis is a city, but it ain't got as much as Chicago has. But it's still a good city to come to and let these people find love. I think everybody agrees 1,000%. You said 10,000% this was the worst season. Yeah, facts. Facts on facts on facts. But that's it for this episode of Ready to Love. Again, I'm going to try to pull the reunion looks and do a live to give my opinion on the reunion looks before the episode comes out. But usually I think it might be in the contracts. A lot of people don't post their reunion looks until the reunion airs. So if they don't, I'll still split it into 2 videos, so it won't be a long video. But I like to discuss the looks before we get into it so we can have that already out the way. But again, like I said, the reunion looks lit. It looks like a lot of drama. I really want to know what Frank put Moomin through because I expected him to put her through something. I just want to know what it is. But Cornelius, he had on an orange suit. I ain't see that. I bet you Camille dressed him. I cannot believe Cornelius is still with Camille. He might be one of those men. Sometimes there's some men that like to be controlled by women and they like those kind of aggressive. They like the Camille types. I don't really want to say the adjectives because I don't want to be negative, but they like those Camille types of women. It's somebody for everybody out there. But I wanted better for him. But I'm getting ready to do another live as soon as I end this one. It's gonna be a quick kind of a hot topics live I'm going to talk about Drag Race real quick, Project Runway real quick, just really quick, 2-3 minutes on each subject, just so I can get my 2 cents out there and be done. But thank you all for watching. I'll be back next. I might have to do Ready to Love again next Sunday because I have another panel I'm doing next Saturday on somebody else's channel. So I might not be able to get it done Saturday, but it'll definitely be up Sunday. I'll definitely put it out there on the community tab on YouTube, and I'll also tweet when I'm going to go live to do the reunion. And we're going to have a good time. So thank you all for watching. Like this video. If you're watching this on the replay, get in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the choices and what you thought about this final episode. And we'll get together, all right? I'll talk to you all later. Bye.